Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a good day today. It's Sunday fun day. We're going to get it started right away. To get started, let's come to the front of our mats and let's bring our feet side by side. Let's bring the knees to touch, bring the thighs in. Let's try to create a little inward rotation by taking your knees and try to roll them in towards the center line of the body. And as you do that, let's hollow out the belly and then raise the shoulders up. Open the palms to face forward, and then draw the shoulders up ever so slightly more if you can, and then start to pull your hands backwards, keeping your arms straight. Now, let's connect with the head. Let's take the back of the head, pull it up, and then pull it back. Good morning, Anne. How are you doing? I'm just going to pin this so we can see. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning.
As we draw up the shoulders and pull the hands back, let's bring the hands forward and up to shoulder height with the palms facing the sky. Now, draw the thumbs away from the center line of the body to open up through the chest. Continue to draw them backwards so you feel a nice expansion through the chest itself. As you inhale, raise the arms high to the sky. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, bend both the knees. Bring the palms onto the shins. Now, open the elbows so that they point opposite direction to each other. As you push your palms into the shins, let's squeeze the thighs together and make the spine long and draw the back of the head long and high to the sky. Now, lower that butt just a little more. Keep the butt down and start to unhinge through the hips so that the hands are going to slide along up onto the kneecaps. And as they come off of that, open the palms to face forward, separate the fingers widely, and then draw the hands backwards, making the arms nice and long. If your head's falling off your body, let's pull the back of the head up in line so you can kind of feel the muscles of the neck nice and active. Now, weight bearing in the feet. Let's focus on that for a little bit. Let's draw the body forward till you feel the toes and the pad of the foot highly pressurized. And then let's draw your butt back until you feel the weight bearing mostly in the heels. Keep the chest proud, sweep the hands high, take a big inhale, and as you exhale, fold all the way down, step back to plank. I can see my camera is going a little bit unstable, so I apologize. Now in plank position, we're gonna do one hover low, push back to hover high, and then take the heels, drive them towards the earth. So you feel a nice little pull and engagement through the calf area. And then let's draw the hips up to the sky as we come into down dog. Let's make sure we have an active connection, kinetically connected to our body. And then come back to your plank pose, hover low, hover high, pull up and back to down dog. Step or jump your feet forward. I like to step since I'm still warming up. I'm going to separate the feet to the width of the mat with the sides of the feet running parallel to the mat itself. Like we practiced earlier, let's drift the body forward till you feel a pressurization in the toes and pad of the foot. And then draw back the hips until you feel the heels mostly doing the weight bearing. As you straighten the legs, also straighten the spine. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale it, let the upper body fold down onto your thighs. Let's walk your palms onto the shins, and let's rotate the elbows away from the body so they're pointing out almost in opposite direction of each other. Now, bend both knees as that butt lowers. Start to extend the spine and start to pull with the back of the head. So we have nice elongation of the spine and nice activation of the muscles thereof. I'm going to keep the weight bearing in the heel as best we can. And while we keep that, let's try to spiral away the heels. So it's an external rotation effort that is just isometric. We're just activating some of those outer thigh and outer hip muscles. Keep that active as you lower your butt just a little more, and then start to unhinge the upper body, keeping the butt down. Let the palms open to face forward, sweep the hands backwards. Now we have two things we should be feeling: a lot of weight in the heel and a lot of activation on those side butt muscles. Bring the hands forward, rotate the palms to face. Use the fingers to pull the arms long, and then raise those hands nice and high, and then stand tall, inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Step it back to plank. Hover low, and then hover high, and then pull the hips up and back to down dog. Let's hold in this position for a little bit. Now, take your fingers and thumbs and spread them widely. Let's push up under the tippy toes, and then drive the heels to the earth. And while we keep the heels driving towards the earth, gently and slowly lower the knees all the way down. When they rest on the mat, walk the hands forward, kind of lengthen out through the underarm area, feeling that nice stretch and release of the muscles that interact with the arm and your chest area, or rib cage in any event. And then if your toes are tucked under, today let's flip them so the backs of the feet are on your mat. And as you walk your hands back in, gently lower your butt down, spread your knees a little wider so it can accommodate the movement through the knees. And feel that nice stretch in that muscle that runs along the shin. You should feel the opening, that muscle. Those muscles get highly active when we sit, our foot's in flexion all the time. It's nice to lengthen it out. Move some of the adhesion that generally develops from being overactive in a shortened type of sense. And then come back up onto your knees, flip the toes back under, draw the knees in under the hips as you float them above the mat. I'm going to keep that float around, and then we're going to kind of dial the body like a clock. So imagine you had a pencil in your belly button and you want to draw a circle on the mat, and simply just do that circle round and round in a clockwise fashion. And then let's bring it to a stop and then reverse. Kind of like you put in the eraser end down on your mat, and now you're getting rid of that circle that you drew. And then let's bring that to a stop, centering the body, pulling the hips up, driving the heels to the earth, stepping the feet forward, inhaling, extending to a flat back, and then folding down, bending the knees, keeping the heels and feet separated about hip width apart. Bring the palms back onto the shins, deep bend in the knees. Give me as much range and as closeness to the earth as you can get your butt. And swing the elbows out, push the palms, extend the spine, unhinge the upper body, release the palms off the kneecaps if that's already there. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms up, rotating the palms to face. As you inhale, stand tall. And as you exhale, fold down. Step back to plank. Hover low. And then hover high. Pull up and back to down dog. Drive your heels to the earth. Pull your butt higher to the sky. Take a big breath in. And as you release it, drift back to your plank. Let's lower down onto the forearms. As we come into low plank, let's push the chest towards the earth and then lift the back of the head simultaneously. So two activities, sorry. Chest pushing through to the earth and back of head lifting to the sky. Now, slowly and together, lower the knees onto your mat and then hold there for a second. And then simultaneously and slowly lift them back off the earth. So to do this, we're really taking the heels of the feet. We're driving the heels backwards when we lift, and we're letting the heels drift forward as the knees bend, to lower them back down onto the mat. So I'm going to hold knees down. If your palms are flat to the earth, rotate them up to the sky. Push the chest through towards the earth. Take the back of the head elevated. Drive the heels back. Take the knees up off the earth. And then hold. Breathe. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower the knees. And then hold with the knees down. Let's make sure that that low back and hips haven't collapsed towards the earth. It's almost like a tabletop, right? Back of the head, shoulders, all the way down to the tailbone, parallel to the earth, or your best version of that. Now, drive the heels back, elevate the knees, and then use the hands, step them back under, come into your high plank, and then pull the hips up and back to down dog, and then step your feet forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold back down. As you unhinge now, let's do this in this particular fashion. Let's tuck your tailbone under and let each vertebrae of the spine kind of flex and then pull towards the sky as we slowly unfold the spine all the way up to a standing position. Draw your shoulders up, open the palms to face forward, separating the fingers widely. Using the fingers to guide the whole arm and shoulder carriage down towards the hips. Let's hold in this spot. Now, like we practiced earlier, it's keeping the body nice and long and using the ankles is the point of movement. So nothing in the upper body, middle body, legs all the way down to the ankles, relatively rigid. And the ankles are the point where we're going to flex and extend through. Now, Leaning Tower of Pisa, you know how that object is, that big building, nice and tall, rigid, and kind of bent at the bottom. That's what we're going to do with the ankles. We're going to kind of lean forward till we feel a big pressurization in the front part of the foot, the ball of the foot. Big, big, big push. Now, we're going to straighten the tower. We're going to draw everything back slowly till you feel the weight all the way back into the heel of the foot. And almost at the point where I topple backwards, we're going to kind of hold on that. And then we're going to oscillate between the pad and heel, and then find a balance that works for you. Now, draw the shoulders. Sorry, once we find that, let's take that stance and then try to push the heels away from the body, and then take the ball of each big toe and try to turn it into the body. Again, it's not physical movement, it's muscle activation. Take the hands, reach them up shoulder height. Palms are facing the sky. Take the thumbs, draw the arms all the way back. Come back as far as you can, get as much opening for the chest, and then let the hands sweep to the sky with the palms facing each other. As you inhale, draw the fingers higher to the sky. Let the shoulders rise up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, rotate the palms externally. Fold all the way down. When the hands hit your mat, step it back to plank. Hover low, and then hover high. Pull up and back to down dog. Drive high onto the toes. Drive the heels to the earth. Keep the heels driving to the earth and take your knees and slowly lower them towards your mat. And when they get down there, keep them on the earth. Flip your toes under so the backs of your feet or tops of your feet are on the mat. Separate the knees about mat width apart. Let's draw your butt back. As you walk back the hands with that butt, coming into a kneeling type position. Gonna make the chest a little proud, hollow at the tummy. I'm gonna sit down on the heels, or as best you can. Got a little frog in my throat today. to feel a nice stretch and release through that shin muscle. Enjoy it for a couple seconds, couple breaths. And then come up off your heels, flip your toes under. With your toes tucked under, let's float the knees and let's draw them in so that they're about hip width apart. Let's drive the heels to the earth as the butt pulls to the sky, kind of in an abbreviated down dog. You see if you can get your heels down onto the earth. Try your best. It's not important that they do get down there, but if they can, it's all right. And then step or jump your feet forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk your feet out to the sides of the mat with the sides of the feet running parallel to the mat. Drift the body forward, get the weight bearing into the toes. Draw the body back, get the weight bearing into the heels. Hold on the heels. As you inhale, sweep the arms out to the side of the body, come all the way up to standing. So we have a wide leg stance. Arms are reaching to the sky. Take the ball of each big toe and rotate it onto the mat to the point where the little toes have kind of lifted up off your mat. So keep the legs straight. As you inhale, draw the fingers to the sky. And as you exhale, let's lower the arms shoulder height. And then take the hands, bringing the palms together, interlock the fingers. Flip the palms, so now the arms extend out. Try to keep the arms relatively straight. Let's draw the butt back. And draw it back a little more and give me as much weight bearing as you can in the heel of the foot. And now as you work to hollow out the belly, see if you can raise the arms about eye level. And hold them up eye level and then rotate slightly to the left and come back center. You'll notice it's not my arms moving. It's the shoulder carriage. I'd like you to train with the shoulder carriage moving left, center, and then right, center, and continue that movement. Now, as you move the shoulder carriage from side to side, let's take the heels and try to push them away from the body. And as you push the heels away from the body, let's hollow out the tummy, almost like you're trying to draw your belly button into the spine. That kind of hollow. And then let's everyone meet back in center. Flip the palms to face. Keep the fingers interlocked. Try to raise the hands a little higher. And then rotate left to right, slowly. All the while, we'll keep that external rotation of the heels. And again, external rotation is all a misnomer of sorts. We're just keeping that activation active. As we come back center, release the hands, let the arms sweep down and back. Palms are facing the earth. Take a big inhale, raise the hands high. Exhale, fold. Walk or step out to plank. Hold on plank. Take the left leg, lift it off the earth. And then lower and switch for the right. And then lower and switch for the left. And let's do that a couple more times on each side. You set your own pace. We'll all meet in the high plank position. And then pull your hips up and back to down dog. Drive your heels to the earth. Keep the heels driving into the earth. Lower the knees. Step them out to the sides of the mat. Step the knees out to the side of the mat. Flip your feet so that the tops are now connected to your mat. Let's draw the hips back, walk the hands back, lower your butt as far down as it'll go. Feel that nice release through that shin muscle. Keeping the chest proud, try to grow the spine, keeping that hollowed out tummy. On the next breath, come up onto all fours, toes tucking under. Knees drifting in as we elevate them off the mat. Hips pulling up and back to down dog. Feet stepping forward. Inhaling, extend to a flat back. On the exhale, fold back down this time. Bend the knees and lower that booty. Walk the palms onto the shins. Take the elbows so they pull away from the center line of the body. Palms pushing to the shin, lower that butt a little more and start to open, unhinging through the hips. This time we're going to bring the hands forward. So we're in a squat-like position. Let's drift the squat forward so we feel the pressure in the pad and ball of the toe on each foot. Then drift backwards. Get that heel weighted heavily. Lower a little lower. Now hold down here. Bring the arms out to the side. Sweep them back in, just like a big clap. Palms touch, hands open wide. Sweep back in, hold on the touch, palm to palm. Try to take the heels, try to push them away from the center line of the body. Keep that active. Open the palms, open the arms, I'm sorry. Come back center. Now, if your low back is experiencing any compression, I'd like you to hollow out, pull that belly button into the spine, open the arms as you continue to externally rotate the heels, hands come back center. Open one more time, come back center. Keep the hands separated, shoulder width apart. Raise the arms high, stand tall. Oh, exhale, fold all the way down. And then lower that butt, lie down on your mat. Oh my goodness, it's almost like break time, but it's not. Sorry, let's see. As we lie down on the mat. It's hot here today, so I'm leaking all over the place. Okay, as we lie down on the mat, let's extend the legs all the way out. Let's take the right leg and bring it in, the right foot in towards the butt. So we have it planted. The heel's as close to the butt as you can get it. Now, take the left heel, push it away from the body. Keep that active. So we have those thigh muscles working. I want to try to keep that activation realized as we lift the left leg off the earth, bring it up to about a 45-degree angle. Nice. Now, let's check in with your lower back. That low back and its arch, we're going to try to remove some of it by rotating the mid part of the back onto the mat. So the pelvic girdle per se is actually going to roll where the tailbone's kind of like tucking under. We have that active sensation from previous exercises we've done, not today, of course, but that's really an activation more of the rectus abdominis, that six-pack muscle. So as we work to kind of keep the hips and tailbone tucking under, we're going to keep that muscle active, and we're going to bring in our transverse abdominis, our belly band, if you will, by pulling our navel towards the spine. So we got a couple of big abdominal muscles working right now. Let's take the leg, left leg that is, lower it down. Okay, so that's our hip flexor. That's should be highly active. We should feel kind of a nice activation right over that hip socket, right in the front, as we raise the leg back up and lower back down. We're now using some of our lateral stabilizers, our obliques. So we have all of those big muscles of the stomach working hard right now as we raise and lower the leg, slowly down, slowly up. Got that hip flexor on that left leg working hard to raise and lower the leg. And then we're going to bring that leg down onto the earth. We're going to step the left foot in, extend the right leg out. I just have my hands crossed on my belly just to kind of remind me to keep that section active. You can do the same. You can place them anywhere you want. Now, bring the left heel in as close to your butt as possible. Take the right heel, push it away from the body. So we have that nice activation in those quadriceps of the right leg. If our low back is kind of popped up off the mat, I want you to work to kind of tuck under your tailbone and keep that muscle, which is your six-pack, active, strong. Now, take the right leg, and start to raise it about 45 degrees. You'll notice that the low back should almost feel like it's easier to push into the mat when the leg raises. And that's just because those muscles are tight. So let's lower down. Lower is lengthening, and raising is shortening the muscle. So we're just kind of practicing some stretch and muscle activation in the hip flexors while we keep stable through the core. So lower and raise. And keep doing that for a few more repetitions. And then lower that right leg, extend the left leg out to see it, to meet it. Let's separate those feet about hip width apart. And let's take both heels and just slide them in a couple inches, just so that the knees have risen slightly. So there's a big angle, an obtuse. If you're into math, it's an obtuse angle through the knees. We're going to take the feet and we're going to flex them, which means we're going to take the top of the feet and draw them in towards the shins. And then while we keep the feet in flexion, we're going to bring the left and right thigh together. So it's like the kneecaps are coming in to kiss each other, as are our big toes. Now, that hollow out the belly, which is the drawing of the belly button into the spine. Let's make the chest proud. Let's make the arms long and bring them right beside the body and cup the fingers so your fingertips and thumbs are contacting the mat. Not the palms, fingertips and thumb tips. Arms are long, chest is proud. Check in with those shoulder blades for me. Or if you're riding on the ridge of the shoulder blade, flatten it out as best you can. Keep that chest proud. Push your fingertips into the mat. Now, adding on to this as we progress this particular exercise, let's take the thighs and push them together. And as we push, we're activating. And let's keep that activation as strong as you can. Keep pushing hard. Now, if you can, try to push the heels into your mat, and you're going to feel your gluteals and those inner thigh muscles highly active. Keep that sensation as you try to elevate. It's not about forcing, it's about activation. Strong, strong, strong. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, release everything. Let the toes aim up at the sky. Step the feet back out. We're going to stretch this all out by taking the arms above the head, and then we're going to use the fingers to pull one direction, the upper body, and the toes to pull the other direction, lower body, for that nice lengthening through the whole body. And then when you're ready, bring your hands up over your chest. Draw the shoulders down towards the earth. Make sure your shoulder blades are nice and flat. Let's take the chin, drop it onto your chest. As you rotate the head up, you can almost see the tips of your toes. We're going to keep that as we peel each vertebrae of the spine slowly up off your mat and come all the way up, keeping the spine in C curve. Going to dive the hands down towards the heels. There's a lot of flexion in that upper back. That's great. We want that. See if you can push your fingertips past your heels, your feet. If you can get there, that's great. This is a nice release for the low back. Keeping my tummy hollowed out. I hope you are doing the same. And then I'm going to slowly, from the tailbone, lower spine, keeping the chin tucked down, lowering down my back one vertebrae at a time, slowly lowering down. Oh my goodness. And then letting the arms sweep all the way back. Fingers and toes pulling opposite direction. Arms sweeping forward and down, cupping the hands so the fingertips can now come down onto my mat right beside my body. One arm on each side, arms run parallel to the sides of my body with the fingertips pushing into the mat. I'm going to make sure my shoulder blade ridge is not the connection point. I'm going to flatten out as I proud my chest and hollow out my tummy. I'm going to let my feet, my heels slide in ever so slightly as I flex the feet so that my shin muscles, which we stretched out earlier, are highly active now. I'm going to rotate the thighs into touch and bring those big toes into touch while I keep my feet in flexion. As I very assertively push my fingertips into the mat, I'm going to draw my belly button into the spine. I'm going to begin to squeeze my thighs ever so slightly more, and then ever so slightly more, and then ever so slightly more. Get that big burn. If it's shaking, it's good. Now, bringing in our gluteals and hammies. Here we go. Push the heels into the mat. Try to elevate your butt up off the mat. But most importantly, what's the most important thing? Squeeze the thighs as you elevate. Hold for one more breath, lower down, extend the hands and feet in opposite direction. Beautiful, great work. I can feel those muscles burning. Hopefully you're feeling the same burn that I was. As the hands come up over chest, rotate the chin down towards the chest and slowly begin to peel each and every vertebrae up off the mat. Keep that spine in C curve and dive the fingertips down towards the heels and try to push through all the way along. Feel that nice release in that low back up into the center or middle part of the back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, extend to a flat back. Come up to a seated position. Our staff pose. Let's take the shoulders up to the ears, and let's walk the hands backwards. And as we open through the chest, let's draw that belly button into the spine. Now, take your palms and flatten them so they're on your mat. Fingers are aiming backwards. We have that nice external opening. We have a nice proud chest. We have a nice long neck, so we're not letting that head fall off our body. Let's hinge through the hips and let the palms kind of slide along the mat. And then your version of the L shape, with legs and upper body forming that L shape. Let's take the hands now, let them sweep out beside the body, raise the palms up shoulder height with the palms facing the sky. Let's take the thumbs, rotate them forward and then all the way down. So now the palms are facing backwards. Let's bring the arms out in front, keeping them about shoulder width apart with our thumbs aiming down at the earth. Let's make the chest nice and proud. And if you can, let's raise the hands, which are going to take the arms up to the sky. And then let the elbows fall shoulder height. Gold pose, in staff pose. Let's let the forearms rotate down and bring the forearms parallel to your earth. Let's hollow out, keep that tummy active, keep the legs straight, keep the heels of each foot pushing away. Now take the forearms and try to rotate them down below parallel. And then sweep them all the way up as you inhale. Extend the hands all the way to the sky, palms turn to face. Bring hands over heart. And then slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Push the hands over the head. Fingers and toes pull opposite as you inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to do this exercise one more time because it's such a good exercise. Let the arms come down beside the body. Get those shoulder blades so that they're flat to your mat with chest proud, cupped hands and fingertips able to connect to your mat. Let's start with that again. Let's push the fingertips into the mat. Let's keep the chest proud and let's pull that belly button in towards the spine. Let's let the heels slide ever so slightly in. Let's flex the feet and let's rotate internally. So we have the internal rotation of the thighs and the feet, keeping the flexion in the feet, squeeze the thighs together. Keeping the squeeze of the thighs together, push the fingertips into the mat and keep the chest proud. Let's squeeze the thighs a little more if you can. And then squeeze a little more if you can. And keep that big effort to keep the thighs pushing hard together and try to lift your butt up off the mat. Push your fingertips, hold, 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 inhale, exhale, lower, and extend opposite directions, the fingers and the toes. Pull it all the way long. When it come back up into staff pose, bring the hands over chest, rotate the chin onto the chest or towards it and peel up ever so slightly. And this time, instead of diving down, we're coming into staff pose. Make the chest proud, keep the arms extending out. Take the thumbs, rotate them into the center line and then all the way down. Keep the thumbs rotating down, lift the arms to the sky. Let's lower the elbows, shoulder height, rotate the palms to face forward. Let's make sure your elbows are up shoulder height, just like a big field goal post with your head right in the middle of it. Hopefully the football doesn't hit that. Now, rotate the forearms down so you're parallel. Rotate the forearms down so you're below parallel, but keep the elbows high. So instead of letting the elbows drop, keep the elbows high, rotate the forearms down, sweep all the way back up, push your hands all the way to the sky. As you inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, fold all the way down. Walk the hands forward. Use the fingers to do the walking. I don't know if you're my age, you probably remember the yellow page commercial where you have the fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. Well, this time they get to do the exercise by walking your body forward. Just inch it forward ever so slightly. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. Let's draw the feet in. Let's cross the legs and then be mindful. I can do this. Not everyone can. I'm going to walk over the knees. So I'm basically going to use my arms. I'm going to up to my knees and come all the way through into all four position. That's as smooth of a transition as I got coming off your backside to getting back onto your front side. Now, hands wider than shoulder width, knees about hip width, toes tucked under, float the knees about an inch. Put the pencil in the belly button, circle clockwise, just a small circle. Be mindful your head hasn't fallen off your body. We're going to keep that active. Now reverse, put the eraser in, circle back the opposite way. You can control the speed. You can go whatever speed you like. And then everyone bring it to a halt. Pull your hips up and back to down dog. High to the tippy toes, drive the heels to the earth. Step your feet forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold back down. As you inhale, unfold, sweep the arms to the sky. Hello, everybody. Make the arms long. Oops, my pants are falling down. Arms long, pull your butt back. Now, pulling the butt back can have two ways to do it. A lot of times people reach their tailbone back and they kind of arch the lower back. To do it properly, let's engage, pull the belly button into the spine, and without arching the lower back, just simply pull the butt backwards. So the spine has remained long, engaged, the integrity and strength of it, uncompromised by not letting that low back arch. We have the weight bearing to the heels. Let's bring the hands over heart, keeping that slight internal rotation of the upper body, strongly engaged to our core. Extend the hands forward with the palms facing, interlock the fingers, rotate the palms to face forward. Now, take the heels, push them away from the center line of the body. Keep that activation. Rotate shoulder carriage to the right, come back center, rotate left, and then come back center. Try not to let the hips float. Remember, we have those heels anchoring the body, pushing away. rotation left to right of the shoulder carriage. Inhaling as I make the rotation, exhaling as I come center. A lot of quick breathing. Keep the motion relatively quick. Keep the breathing relatively quick. Come back center, flip the palms to face, bring hands over heart, stand tall. Push the hands back to the sky. Here comes that sun, fold all the way down. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, step it back to plank. Hover low, hover high, pull up and back to down dog. Tippy toes, heels, tippy toes, heels, back to plank. Hover low, hover high, pull up and back to down dog. Tippy toes, heels, tippy toes, heels. Drift the shoulders back to plank. One more hover low, one more hover high. Pull up and back to down dog. Take the right leg, lift it to the sky. Switch it for the left leg. Switch it for the right. Switch it for the left. Both feet down, both knees down. Flip the toes, tops of the feet. Now connect with your mat as you step the feet out to the width of the mat. Sorry, your knees out to the width of the mat. Draw your butt back. Walk the hands back. So we're in a semi-kneeling type position with our butt down towards the heels. So we're on the knees. We feel that nice release through that shin muscle. I'm going to hold on this for a couple breaths. We worked a lot of therapy today of the internal rotators of our legs, the stabilizers of our core, and some of the areas that are most affected by sitting, the outer hips, and the muscles we're stretching right now are shin muscles, anterior tibialis. Giving us a little more joint mobility is always important. Mobility and stability is very key for health and happiness in our movement. Let's come out of that position, come back onto all fours. Let's take the head, let it fall. As we do cat and cow for a few moments. Let's take the center of the spine and pull it high to the sky. Tuck your tailbone under. And then drive your chest towards the earth. You should feel a movement through the shoulder carriage as the chest kind of descends towards the earth. I'm going to pull the back of the head to the sky. Before we do anything with our tailbone, I'd like you to draw your belly button in towards the spine and then try to rotate your tailbone to the sky. So you have two rotation points, the back of the head and the tailbone, supported through the core with that nice engagement of that transverse abdominis by drawing that belly button into the spine. Come back to a neutral spine. Let the head fall. Tuck the tailbone under. Pull the center of the spine high to the sky. Feel that nice lengthening through all the spine. And all those ribs of the back. Push your chest down. Tailbone and back of head. Pull to the sky. Come back to a neutral spine. Let's take the let's take the knees and float them above your earth. Pull your hips up to the sky. Drive your heels to the earth. Walk your hands back towards your feet. We're inverted, letting that upper body just find a nice spot. Find a nice recovery from the work we've done today. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. Keep the back in extension, bend the knees. Let's sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up to standing. Bring your hands to the sky. Let's take a nice little opportunity to stretch here. Separate the fingers widely. Use them to pull all towards the sky. Take a big inhale. Try to arch the back ever so slightly. The upper back, not the lower back. Keeping that belly button pulling into the spine. And on your next breath, as you release it, let's bring hands over heart. And let me thank you for your great participation today. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Namaste. Hello, everybody. How are you doing, Ann?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Are you on mute? Or
No.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yep.
Can you hear me now? Oh, I guess the feed isn't very strong here. Thank you.
No, it was kind of choppy. Can you hear me?
Now, yeah, you know what? It was just on my volume here was down. That's why I couldn't hear you. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So Garrett's coming in today?
Yeah, he just arrived actually.
Oh, great.
In fact, he
That's great.
went around the camera and they went into the house. I guess he was up all night. And then I
Oh,
went to the airport and then came in this morning. Of course, he just got here. So, yeah, you want to meet him?
great. I think I've seen pictures of him before. I think he needs to sleep. He's been up all night.
Sleep is overrated. It's
Ah,
overrated.
no. Well, I hope you have a great visit with him. It's his birthday, right?
It is, yeah. It is his birthday.
All right. Well, enjoy your time with him.
Oh, thank you. What are you up to today?
It's a beautiful day. I think it's a little cooler than yesterday, but I'll go for a couple walks, maybe a bike ride. We'll see. Yeah.
Nice. That's nice.
Well, enjoy the boy. I know what that's like.
Kirsten's in heaven, and
Yeah.
I'm a dad. So yeah, I'm glad that he's here spending some time.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
For sure. Yeah. Well, have a good one. I'll see you Tuesday, or I'll see Kirsten on Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the class, Sean.
Thanks, Ann. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.